Have you ever noticed something strange? The people who seem to be winning the most usually don't look like they're trying to impress anyone. They're not the loudest person in the room. They don't post every achievement online. They rarely argue. And somehow, they keep moving ahead while everyone else is busy proving themselves. Why? The answer isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's psychology. And once you understand it, you'll start noticing these people everywhere. Think about two people starting the exact same journey. One announces every goal. They tell everyone they're going to wake up at 5 a.m., build a business, get in shape, and change their life. The other says almost nothing. 6 months later, the first person has hundreds of motivational posts, but little progress. The second person quietly transformed their life. What happened? Psychologists have observed something fascinating. When you tell people about your goals, your brain often receives a small reward before you've actually earned it. The praise feels like progress, even when nothing has changed. That's why people who secretly win often protect their goals, not because they're hiding, because they're protecting their focus. Here's something even stranger. Most people think successful individuals have stronger motivation. They don't. They simply rely on motivation less. Imagine two friends trying to get fit. One waits until they feel motivated. The other goes whether they feel like it or not. A year later, who has the better results? The difference isn't discipline, it's identity. The quiet winner doesn't ask, "Do I feel like working today?" They ask, "What would someone like me do?" That single question changes everything, because actions become part of who they are, not something they negotiate every morning. Now here's a behavior almost nobody notices. When something goes wrong, most people immediately search for someone to blame. Their boss, their parents, the economy, bad luck. Secret winners do something uncomfortable instead. They ask, "What part of this can I control?" That question sounds simple, but psychologically it's one of the biggest differences between people who grow and people who stay stuck. Every problem becomes information instead of an excuse. Every failure becomes feedback instead of proof they're not good enough. And over time, that mindset compounds, just like money. Speaking of compounding, people often underestimate one invisible force: tiny decisions. Imagine improving just 1% every day, reading 10 pages, saving a few dollars, practicing one skill for 30 minutes. None of these feel life-changing today, which is exactly why most people ignore them. Our brains are attracted to dramatic transformations, but life rewards consistency far more than intensity. Secret winners understand something most people don't. Success is usually boring while you're building it. The excitement comes later. There's another pattern that's easy to miss. Watch how people react when someone else succeeds. Some immediately compare themselves, others become jealous. Some criticize the successful person just to protect their own ego. But quiet winners become curious. Instead of asking, "Why them?" they ask, "What can I learn from them?" That tiny shift changes your future, because envy closes the mind, curiosity opens it. Now let's talk about something that feels almost unfair. Attention. Most people scatter it everywhere. Notifications, messages, news, endless scrolling. Their brain is constantly switching tasks. Each switch costs mental energy. By the end of the day, they're exhausted, but haven't really moved forward. Secret winners guard their attention like it's money, because they know attention becomes decisions. Decisions become habits. Habits become identity, and identity becomes destiny. Here's another surprising truth. The strongest people aren't always the smartest. They're often the calmest. When everyone else panics, they slow down. When everyone reacts emotionally, they observe. Because emotions spread faster than facts. Fear is contagious, anger is contagious, panic is contagious, but so is calm. Remaining calm doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're choosing clarity over chaos. And clarity almost always makes better decisions. One last pattern ties everything together. Secret winners rarely chase validation. Think about how many decisions people make just to be seen. Buying things they don't need. Pretending to know things they don't. Winning arguments that don't matter. Looking successful instead of becoming successful. The people quietly winning have escaped that trap. Their confidence comes from private promises they've kept to themselves, not public applause, not likes, not strangers' opinions. Every time they do what they said they would do, even when nobody is watching, they build trust with the one person they'll spend their entire life with, themselves. Not public applause, not likes, not strangers' opinions. Every time they do what they said they would do, even when nobody is watching, they build trust with the one person they'll spend their entire life with, themselves. And that's the advantage most people never see. Because the biggest victories don't happen on a stage. They happen in ordinary mornings, in difficult choices, in lonely evenings when nobody is clapping. By the time the world notices someone's success, they're usually just seeing the final chapter. The real victory happened years earlier, in silence. So the next time you see someone quietly winning in life, don't ask what they're doing differently today. Ask yourself, what invisible choices have they been making while everyone else was watching the spotlight?